Hey everybody, this is Harley. I wanted to make a couple videos showing new players how to get started with the game who have never played a MUD before, let's say. So the first thing to do is, well, you can obviously check out materialmagica.com. You need a way to connect to the game, which is commonly known as a client application. Somewhere on Materia Magica website, I guess you could start here. They have a Flash and a Java client. You could also use Telnet, which is like the old school way. But anyway, you don't want to do any of those things. You want to get a real client, and I recommend Mush Client, which is free and has been around for a long time and has tons of features. And to me, it's the best one. So you could just Google Mush Client, M-U-S-H client, and it's this gammon.com.au site, and you could download the plain old Mush client from there, or you could go to, which I'm going to recommend, go to orderofchaos.org, which is my alliance that my characters are in, and we have a public site for some people to access information. So if you come to orderofchaos.org and scroll down a bit to the client script section and download, or click on Mush Client, there's some information here that tells you a bunch of things. But I'm going to recommend for the complete newbie to perhaps download this pre-packaged version of Mush Client, which contains the Mush Client Package Manager. So go ahead and click this link or right-click it and save as, and download mushclient.zip. And I recommend, so you'll have a zip file. I recommend either, if you use Dropbox, I'd recommend just unzipping this right into your Dropbox. That way you always have your settings files backed up and are available to you if on, like in my case, I use multiple computers, and so no matter which computer I log on to, as long as Dropbox is on it, I have my latest settings and updates I've made to my client. I guess alternatively, you could also use a USB stick and unzip this on there and bring that with you. So I'm going to unzip that just for now onto the desktop, just for an example. So once you unzip it, just run mushclient.exe, and the way it's set up with this pre-packaged version is it can connect you right to Moongate or Materia Magica. And the other thing to take note of is that right up here it says Mush package client package manager. So type package list and package help to get more information. So this is a thing that lets you install a bunch of different little plugins just by typing package list. I guess we can do it real well. Anyway, I'm going to make a new character and show you guys how to get started. We'll come back to package list in a little bit, but so here it goes. So the first thing we connect, type new. You can say yes if you'd like to get a list of names here. I decided I want to name my character Isidore. You'll enter and confirm your password. I'm not sight impaired, so I'm gonna say no to sight impaired mode. Yes, I want color. I'm going to make a female. I like to make Valkyries, and you have to be a female to do so. But make whatever you like. And I feel like making a gnome. But again, make whatever you like. If you're a new player, just pick whatever the heck you want. I'm sure you're probably gonna either re-roll a couple there's as you learn a little bit more about the game, and if you don't, well, pretty much anything can be good. So just pick whatever you feel like playing. Now I'm going to start with Druid, just because I haven't played one in a while, and I feel like being a first-class Druid. But then again, if you're a new player, pick whatever you want. Although I'll recommend, if you're a new player, perhaps starting with a fighter type class like a Paladin, Barbarian, Cavalier, or Valkyrie, because there's less things to keep track of. You don't need to get spell books or scrolls or find anything special, and you get a lot of hit points and just like skills to go around and bash things and whack things, and you'll be able to take on pretty much anything if you go fighter first class. So it's good to go fighter if you're just starting out. But I'm going to go Druid. And now you can try to roll your stats to get higher than starting stats. Now, one thing to keep in mind is that there's a primary stat. This isn't super important, especially if you're starting out, but there's a primary stat for each class. And a druid's is knowledge, and I have a 9 knowledge apparently by default as a gnome, which seems strange, but normally you want to have sort of a high primary stat, so I'm going to try to re-roll these a couple times. And I feel like years ago you could get really high starting stats, like in the 15s and 16s, and I feel like they've tweaked this in the past couple years to make the starting stats so it seems like really low. But on the other hand, they also made it so you don't so that the amount of hit points and spell points and practices you gain when you level up are no longer dependent on your stats. So I guess that's helpful as well to kind of offset that. But I'm going to try to reroll mine and try to at least get my knowledge up to like 11 or 12 or something. Actually, ideally, I'm going to try to get all my stats in double digits. Well, that's not too bad, but yeah, I'm going to go with that. That's pretty, even though knowledge is only 11, all the rest are pretty high. So if you want to keep re-rolling and try to at least get double digits for everything, that's a good starting point. Okay, then you have to enter a challenge question, which if you ever need to like restore your character or do something with your character, the immortals will ask you for what your challenge question answer is. So I'm gonna just, since this is a demo video, I'm just gonna pick a stupid one. I'm gonna say stuffed animal's name. My first stuffed animal's name was Doggy. Just for my example here. I'll change this later so that nobody steals my character. Then you enter your name. Please don't spam me. And my old email that I've had since I was 12, which is basically a spam email account anyway. I have thousands and thousands of spam messages on here. Then you must agree to terms and conditions, and here we are. So the first thing you always want to do pretty much is set auto loot on. That will make it so every time you kill something, you take all the items off the corpse. And set, what else do we need? I like to set page length 100. That just, there's a built-in kind of concept of paging. So if you get spam, like say you type a command and it returns a bunch of lines of text, there's a concept of like, do you want to continue? It kind of pauses so you have a better chance to see the text, and you can press continue or exit or whatever. So this is going to break out those long lists into groups of 100, which is the maximum I think you can have. The other thing you can do is just type set, and it shows the different options. So yeah, set auto sac on. This will sacrifice corpses after you loot them, which you pretty much, when you're a newbie, you can pretty much do this all the time. Just turn it on, trust me. And I guess to be nice, we'll also set auto split on. And this would be if you're in a party, you will split the gold evenly with your party members that you get off of corpses. And I think that's all you need. So we start out basic commands. Look, I always type low, but it's look to see what room you're in. Here we have a room name. We have, this is the compass, which shows which directions you can move. And then here's a room description, and then after the room description will be basically items or characters or NPCs that are in the room as well. And we also have our prompt here, 20 hit points, 100 spell points, 100 stamina. So this is sort of a newbie zone. You can walk through these rooms and read the descriptions if you want some additional info on the different commands you can use. So I'm just going to go north a couple times, and I know that when I get to this room here, it's telling me that I can take armor rack. You could also say get armor rack. So it's basically going to, rack is a container, and the armor is inside of it. So I'm going to get the armor out of the rack. And it gives you a special piece of armor depending what job you or what class you pick. You'll get either a sort of a magical item like a robe if you're a spellcaster, and if you're a fighter you get something else, I don't know. So you can look at the robe and we'll see that it has some armor resistance, and it also gives me +1 accuracy. So I'm going to wear the robe, and that's going to replace my practice gambeson. So I'm going to get rid of that because that's junk. Drop gambeson. Sacrifice gambeson. That'll give me a couple gold. You can sacrifice basically everything that you see that's an item. And the powers that be gave me 2 gold for my sacrifice, so that's pretty cool. And I never found these like in-game maps helpful. I'm going to drop these maps, sacrifice those. Typing inventory to look in, I'm typing in just as a shorthand for inventory to see what I'm carrying. I guess that's it for now. So I'm going to continue north. And now we're in the halls of combat. So this guy, he's got a train flag next to him, and he's telling me, hey, you're a druid. You should practice some stuff. So for physical attacks, I recommend you practice mace. And for fire evocation, you should practice that for magic attacks. So if you type, basically, your character has skills and spells. The commands to look at those would be skills prof for skills proficiencies. So since I'm a druid, I don't get very many proficiencies. And here they are. The yellow ones are ones I have unlocked, basically. Here's what type they are. Here's how complex they are. And here is how learned they are on a scale of 1 to 100%. And if I want to increase this percent, I can either use the skill thousands of times, or I can use practice points to increase them. Most skills can be increased up to 75% through practices. And so down here it says that I have 250 practice sessions total. So I can then spend these practices to increase my learn percent. So even though he told me to practice mace, I'm not going to practice mace right off. I'm going to go with flail since it's already at 40%. So you can type practice flail, and that just practices it once. You can see it went from 40% to 41%. I'm going to practice it. You can also add a number after your as a second argument, up to 50. So you can spend up to 50 at a time if And if you can't use all 50 on a certain skill, it just uses what's remaining. So, for example, if I prac flail 50, it took me up to 75%, and it actually only used whatever that is, 34 pracs. So again, skills prof shows me what I have available. If you're in a room with a trainer, you can just type prac and see what he offers, because not every trainer can train you in all skills and spells. So I'm going to go with, flail 75, since I'm starting off with a flail equipped. If you type EQ or equipment, it shows you what you're wearing. And again, in IN or inventory, see what you're carrying in that's not equipped. I'm also going to do dagger to 75. I'm also going to do fire evocation, which is sort of like a fireball spell for a druid, and do that to 75. And I'm going to keep my remaining practices for the time being, because I want to practice dodge, and I have to get to town to practice that. So that's that. So yeah, skills prof for proficiencies, and skills spells to see what spells you have. These gray ones are, I'm going to get these as a druid, but they're locked. I can't practice these right now. They're too complex for me to understand. So once you've practiced a few things, continue on. Once you hit this combat room, they're going to say you must defeat one of the beasts in order to pass by. So to attack something, you type kill, space, and then whatever mob we have. So you see we've got lions, rats, 2 rats, 2 lions. I'm just going to fight a rat. So kill rat, and it's going to automatically fight. Combat happens in these rounds, so every few seconds a new round happens, and I'll get to attack and they get to attack, and you can dodge, those type of things. And now I've defeated it. I gained 0 XP since this is just a practice mob. And it's also telling me I can take all corpse to get something from its corpse. However, since we set auto loot on already, we automatically took the congratulatory potion from his corpse, and we also sacrifice his corpse for 1 gold coin because we set auto sac on. So that's that for this room. I'm going to pass through all the rest of these rooms because I don't need to look at them. But if you're a complete noob, it's probably helpful to read through them and do all the things it tells you. So finally, I've got to the end of the path. I've gained the mark of graduation. Marks are sort of things that are like one-time. I don't want to call them quests. There's things you can. It's like you've done something that's sort of like a one-time. I guess it's sort of like an achievement, you might say, if you're used to Xbox 360 or trophies or whatever you want to say. I don't know. I don't play consoles, but anyway. So I got the mark of graduation. You can type score marks to see that I have 1 out of 348 marks in the game. And I'm going to go down. I think if you go west here, I haven't been here in a while. There's some like noobish things you can fight, but let's not go there. I'm going to go back east and go north. So now we've arrived in what are known as the wilds or the overworld. And you'll see that the room description no longer has a description, and instead it has this little ASCII map representation. So your character is this magenta ampersand, or sorry, @ sign. This yellow circle represents a door. These pink things are basically walls of a city or a building you can enter. This is either fields or sand or dirt. And then these pound signs are a road, and the green things are forest or whatever. So I recommend, and you also see that I gained another mark just for walking outside. For leaving the safety of your youth, the powers have granted you via mark. Mark of Expedition, gain 5 prac. So marks are cool because they give you practices. So yeah. So I'm going to follow this road to the next part of this, and along the way we'll meet... Oh, some guy waved to us. I'll go back. Oh, never mind. Anyway, follow the road. We will pass by a few people here who are going to tell us about different quests and things. For now, you can ignore most of them. There will be one guy you want to talk to, which is a monk who mentioned something about a quest. But he's usually closer to Lasler, right here. I guess it's a preacher. So I found him. He says, "Hey there, Isidore, a preacher of Gath, says to you, if you're interested, I have a task you could do for me. Type, say to preacher, I would like to help. Say to preacher, would like to help. You've been assigned the achievement quest, the 4 towers. Type quest status 3089. And he gives me a fan. So if you just type quest status, or quest stat is what I usually type, it shows you all the quests you're on. So right now I'm on 2 quests, believe it or not. I just started. I'm already on 2 quests. But he gave us the second one, 3089, and we've completed 0 of 5 goals. So if you type quest stat and then a number, one of these 2 numbers here, you can get more details about the quest that you're on. So you'll see here, blah blah, you could read all this if you want, but basically the meat of what we need to do is down here, these phases. And so basically we're going to travel around and just deliver some items to different people. But we're not going to do that yet. I'm going to continue on to town and get a mount to make it easier to travel. So just continue along the road. And here we are at Lasler Village, and we've been granted another mark for coming back to civilization after a short excursion. The powers have granted thee a mark. 7 more pracs. So now we're in Lasler. It's not that complex of an area. Oops. If you follow the dusty path, you'll come across a pincer, which says it wants us to investigate. So I'm going to look at it. Low pincer, or not pincer. And we've been given another quest, Atrascus, the Scourge of Lasler Valley. So this is another quest. We'll come back to this in a little bit. Basically, after a little while, once we get a little stronger, we're going to fight a crab boss. It's pretty scary stuff. So we're going to continue along Dusty Path. Actually, at this point, we should probably go back and go to the package list. Because we want some maps. These things will give us some maps that will help us out a lot. So, if you look through our list of packages, we want to install the IMAP GMC. Oops, requires MMGMCP handler. So where's that one? Okay, so we installed that one. IMAP GMCP. That one's installed. GMCP mapper. That's installed. So once that's installed, it will give you this little window. What else do we want to do? Chatterbox. This kind of captures the chats that are going on. that might be all I need for now. Anyhow, now as I move around town, well, hold on. I expected this mapper thing to start mapping stuff, but actually I'm going to save and reconnect real quick to see if that changes anything. There we go. Okay, so now you have a little map that you can see, so you can kind of follow along with where I'm going. Usually it's good to stop into the armor shop. I'm going to start off with, well, you can type shop list to get a list of items the guy sells, if there's a shopkeeper in the room. Oops. And you can type shop list to see what he's got. You can type shop ID for shop identify to kind of see the stats on one of these items. So if I did shop ID 6, I want to buy this because I want to increase my knowledge. So I'm going to shop buy 6 and wear head. You could look through the other items here as well, and if you're a fighter, you'll want to buy a lot more of this stuff. And continue westwards. And come into this room. So the Shrine of St. Wiseheart is sort of the main area of the town. It's where if you die, you'll come back here. If you type, there's a command called recall, which basically warps you back to like near a safe zone. So if I typed recall, it would bring you back here. And he also helps us with quests and stuff. So we just by coming in here, he gave us 2 additional quests. Next thing I'm going to do is go. So directly north of that area, there's 2 halls of training. The one on the west is a magical training room, and the one on the right is a proficiency training room. So I'm going to practice dodge while I'm in here, which I recommend everybody doing. And I've maxed it out 75. And what should I do next? I'll do Earth Evocation, which is a spell that tangles up the mobs that I'm fighting. And now I'm out of practices. The other thing you can do is type score. That's a command that shows you sort of your character sheet and different stats and things. And again, you'll see out of practices. Okay, so now before I continue on, I'm going to go back down here and go west and down and find this Fey Thief and kill him if I can. This is part of the quest, and this will also allow me to get a cape that I can wear on my body that gives me +1 knowledge as well. This can be a long fight. Don't do much damage with my practice flail. I'm only dealing 4 damage average, which is not good. When you're looking at a room and you see a pink pound sign instead of a direction, that means there's a door there and it's closed. So I'm going to need to open north. And you can now see it's open. Doing that just in case I need to run away. You can type flee and then a direction. Flee north if you wanted to run away from the Fae or from whatever you're fighting. And since I'm a druid, I'm going to evoke. Oh, there we go. It finally worked. You'll want to do time things so that as soon as a round finishes, you start your next action. Because you can basically do things in between rounds, and if you start it too late, you'll actually lose a round of combat where you don't do anything, right, where you don't attack. So you want to get in the habit of practicing initiating things directly after a round, if possible. But then again, as a level 1, you won't really have much that you can do in between rounds. Okay, so we killed him, got 250 XP, and we got what we wanted, which are these fortune bones. So we're going to go north, go up. And actually, if you're a spellcaster, you'll want to go south and west and talk to this retired wizard who will give you some spellcaster stuff. He'll give you an amulet that you want to wear, and he'll also give you these Novacate keys, which are basically regents. When you cast spells, your spells might need a regent. Like if you cast a fireball, you might need to have a pinch of sulfur that gets consumed as you cast it. And for newbies, that can be a pain. So they recently added this thing so that you basically have one of every kind of regent to start off with, and it doesn't go away. It lasts for a few levels, so that's enough to get you started. The other thing is we're going to go all the way west down the main street, and we're going to come into this shop to the south, and we're going to type shop list, and I know that there's a little quest up ahead that I need a purple flower for. If you're a female character, you need a purple flower. If you're a male character, you want to buy a wisp of fog, I believe. So I'm going to buy shop by 3 purple flower. I'm going to go 3 north from there and 1 west. So now we're in a village cemetery. We're going to walk around here till somebody talks to you. So I'm going to... She wants flowers, so I'm going to give this wife give the wife a flower, and that I just bought, and that completed part of my quest. and it also, she gave me a wedding ring, which is a good item to have as a newbie. Well, I can't tell what it does. There's a concept of identifying an item, which basically shows you its full stats. I don't have that yet. So in the meantime, just wear the ring anyway. It's awesome. It's good. Oh, you have to be level 2 to wear it. You can wear things 5 levels higher than you. So if I was level 2, I could wear this level 7 object. Okay, so now back to business. So we're going to go back outside and do the quest that we picked up earlier, where for the monk, or whatever his name, the friar. But first what we want to do is come, so from the western edge of the main street, we want to go 2 east, 1 south, 1 west, into the stables, and we'll find a room that's full of ponies. And so I'm going to mount the pony. So you'll see that now that I've mounted the pony, I get a new little prompt that says mount 841 stamina. That's much better than my 100 stamina, so we can travel around much easier now. The other thing is that if you look at the pony, you'll see he's wearing an enchanted harness. Not all the ponies are, but that's really good because it actually makes the pony levitate, so he can cross across water without even deep water, which is really good. So if you can get a pony that's levitating that has an enchanted harness, definitely do. I think only one of these ponies loads with a harness though, so like if you, well, here's another tip as well. If there's more than one of the same thing in the room, either a mob or an item, you can do 2 dot or 3 dot to look at the second or the third thing. So if I type low 2 dot pony, let's look at the second one. So you'll see this second pony doesn't have an enchanted harness. But anyway, so get the one with the enchanted harness if you can. If you can't, you can actually buy one from this guy. That's in the next room over for 100 gold. And the other thing I'm going to do actually is come into this room. From the edge of the main street, go 1 east, 2 north, 1 east, and this is where this guy Irvin is, who he's sort of the quest master of the town. So if I look through my quests, I'll see that I've completed this quest 3091. If I do quest stat 3091, I've completed these 3 phases. I've journeyed to the southern gates of the village, I've visited Brother Rufus, and I've visited Irvin. I can now turn that quest in by doing quest complete 3091. And as a reward for my quest, I've gained 1 quest point, 1000 XP, and 500 gold. So I gained a level for that. I gained 5 hit points, 11 spell points, 6 stamina, and 17 more practices. And I also became more learned at magical items, and he gave me an intricate pocket watch. So now at level 2, I can wear my caretaker's ring. And I was going to give my set of fortune bones to Irvin. And he gives me a vampire's cape for that, and it also completed part of a quest I'm on. I'll wear my cape. And we're going to continue. So we're going to go back to the main road, and we're going to go all the way east. 2 south, 1 east, 1 south. We're back outside. So as for this quest that we got, so 3089. Basically, you have to travel to these little shrines around the outside area. So our first one is deliver a shrine, Micah fan, to the preacher of Mardos. And so, if you can guess, since it's a fan, Mardos is an air elemental. So we're going to type survey, which lets you, when you're outside in these wilds, survey finds anything of interest that's nearby and tells you what direction it's in. So we're going to look through this list for things that mention air. Fire, stone, airy column of mist, southeast. Oh, okay, sorry, I mistook that. A mica fan, which is actually the earth. Mardos is the earth guy. So if I survey one more time, sorry about that. To the north, we'll see a tower carved of living stone. So you can move a few spaces in that direction, and there it is. I was going to say, you can also keep surveying to kind of get your bearings. So we walked into the room, completed part of our quest. The guy took away our fan, and then he gave us a watering can. So next we're going to look for water, for the water elemental, which is going to be, what am I doing? Ithrillis is the water one. So if I survey something about wet, rather far to the southwest, see an unusual tower that's glistening as if wet. So we're going to basically head south-southwest. Southeast a little bit. And here we are. Next we have a gossamer kite, so that's the air one. If I survey, we'll find airy column of mist to the east. Oops. And since we're riding our levitating pony, we can cross right across the water there. A tinderbox, that's going to be the fire one. And I already know it's basically southwest of where I am. And return, so that was the last phase, basically. Return now to the one who sent you on your journey. You have done well, young one. So I'm just going to go down, and I'm going to head back north to the main road and lasler village, and the friar guy will be somewhere along. Okay, so I walked into the room. Preacher of Gath, he cast something on me. Flames explode around your body, yet you feel no pain. It says basically I've completed my quest. So if I type quest complete, 3089, I completed the quest. I received 1 quest point, 30 practices. I also gained a mark of orienteering, and the preacher gave you a tome of experience. So when you're a newbie, you'll get these tome of experiences, and you can wear them and use them to gain XP instantly. So right now I'm level 2. I'm I'm going to wear the tome, use the tome, and look at that, boom, I gained 72,000 or 7,200 XP, gained a level, gained some stats, get more practices, and I became better at fire evocation, 76%. So that's that. Next, let's go back to town. I'm going to stop in and practice some things. What do I want to? I'm going to finish Earth evocation. And if you want to know what something does, you can type help whatever. So like if I didn't know what fire invocation does, you could do help fire. So you don't does invocation. So basically down here, description tells you what it does. Up at the top, it tells you information like how long it takes to cast, who you can target with it, who gets it, druids get it, etc., etc. I guess I'll do mace and the other thing I want to do is there'll be a guy along the road, this guy right here, Weasley Dwarf. He sells you stuff. He sells you a good weapon for your class. Although for druid, yeah, I guess I'll buy it. Shop by 10. So right now I'm doing 4 damage. And with this thing I'm still doing 4 damage. So actually what I wanted to do was go to this old weapon shop here, Tolan's Weapons, and I wanted to buy the flail. Because I think for, at least in the beginning, the flail does more damage, yeah. 12 damage instead of 4, so check out this shop and buy some stuff in here if you want. So the next thing is there's a quest called the Trial of Youth, where you have to acquire 3 leaves. So the first one, if we go back into the village cemetery, the first room says a pile of earth seems to have obscured something underneath. So if you look at the pile, it will say push pile to move out of the way. Push pile. It revealed a grave. So if I now look at the room, there's a down exit. I can go down. And there's a putrid zombie here. And he says, no, the leaf is mine. So we're going to kill the zombie. And now that I'm dealing incredible damage with my wooden flail, this should go much more quickly. So I killed it, gained 208 XP, gained a level, completed part of my quest because I acquired the green leaves. That's one of the 3 leaves. So we're going to go back up. I'm going to go practice some more things real quick. Prac mace, 18. 10 more pracs left. I guess I'll do hand to hand. And we'll continue on our way. So we're going to go west again, all the way, and then north a bit. Now we're going to head into the caverns. So once you hit this northeast, we're going to go northeast. And you want to pick up some torches, because we're going to be entering a dark area where we need some torches. Okay. The other thing is that notice this gypsy is yelling at me. You might have noticed previously when I was out in the wilds, following the road, there were some people talking to me. That has to do with the crab quest, and there's a lady out there who says, if you kill 3 gypsies, I'll give you something. So we're going to kill these gypsies on our way into the caverns. Oops, fail. There we go. I'm evoking some fire on this gypsy to try to deal some extra damage. Okay, so killed 1 gypsy and it gives me this little red message. Good work, that's 1 of 3 me wanted killed. And there's another gypsy in here, so we're going to kill the second one. Okay, the other thing is that we also want to kill a brat, because we want to get a, what's it? A ragdoll. We need 1 ragdoll for our quest as well. If you read this quest 3088, Traskus Scourge the Lasler Valley, these are basically what I'm doing right now. Although it doesn't really spell it out for you. Help a down or luck gypsy achieve fame and fortune. That's killing the 3 gypsies that we're doing. Open the way for the Novus Ludomancer's investigation. That's the ragdoll one. So we've got those. Now we just need 1 more gypsy. I'm also going to kill, if you come across a blue pixie and a red pixie, go ahead and kill those. It's a little mini quest, I forget what it gives you, but we're going to do that. You need this blue jewel and the red jewel. So that's dead. Here's a final gypsy. There's also a room full of stuff here. I'm going to sack the practice weapons. I'm going to sacrifice the map. I'm going to sack the guide, sack the map. Okay, so now we've got killed 3 of 3, so we're done with gypsies. So now we're just going to continue on, and we're going to try to get the second leaf, and we're also going to grab a couple other things. So continuing here, go west, go north, and drink. There's these glowing footprints that they added, which kind of show you where you need to go, so you don't get lost in here. But north, then we're going to go east. Oh yeah, if you come to this tiny alcove, there is a cupboard that you can open. There's a key. Ooh, there's 2 things in there. Get all cup. I don't know what this artifact does, but do I have... I don't have an identify scroll. I'm gonna drop my guide. Anyway, you also got a key. See a key. I got that from this thing. I'm gonna use that to unlock the chest. Open the chest. Get all chest. And I got a crystal necklace I'm gonna wear. And I'll just leave the key here for someone else if they need it. Okay. So continue on east and north, down the path, and we're gonna go down a floor. Now on this floor I'm gonna go all the way east, and we're gonna look for this cowering Zorn. For some reason it's gray, it has a gray description. Cowering Zorn. We're gonna fight that when we find it. That's part of our crab quest as well. That's the one that says bring closure to a grieving mother and return her daughter's painting. For some reason this cowering Zorn stole her daughter's painting. I don't know, but we're gonna fight it and get it back. And I'm very wimpy, and this is pretty slow combat as a level, what am I? Level 4 druid. Other commands, you can type where, so you see people who are in the same area as you. You can also type who, to see who's online, and different information with them. So I'm in Lasler Village. What else we got going on here? We've got a level 1 Minotaur Rogue. We've got a level 5 Halfling Cavalier and level 6 Sagwin Paladin. And we've got me, Isidore, the Gnome Druid. Level 4. Okay, so you can't kill this thing, I don't think, but once he's almost dead, he runs away and drops the picture frame on the ground. So we're going to pick up the picture, take that with us. Okay, so now, I don't know why there's a blue jewel there, but we're going to travel around. I'm finding random stuff everywhere. I'm going to pick it up. Just look around. You don't really have to fight anything here, but you might find some torches. You might find a pixie. There's also a barrel, I believe, that has I know it says go east, but I'm actually just going to look around a bit more. There's also a barrel that has some items in it, I believe, and cabinets. I always thought it was weird that there are people selling food inside of a cavern. But anyway, okay, so that's the whole floor. We're going to go back over here, and I guess there's a little bit more, isn't there? Anyway, you get here, this lady Zilia is selling torches, and we'll come to the very north, a dead end. We'll see if we can go down, and see how it's a darker yellow? That means that it's dark down there, so if I go down, it's dark, I can't see anything. And go south and go back up, and I'm going to wear a torch. Now, when I go down, I can actually see stuff. Another torch. These torches don't last very long, so guy selling torches. you go west, there is a dead end with a fountain, a blood fountain, and I forget what's at the end of this place. Another shop selling food. We go back east. Yes, the coveted barrel full of gold. I've got 915 gold. And if I get the gold from the barrel, I'm up to 2,415, so there's like, whatever that makes, 1,500 gold in there, which is good. Okay, so now we are at, we go north, east, and then north. This would be where the Dryad is, but someone just killed it for some reason. So we'll have to wait for it to come back. We're going to sacrifice some stuff while we wait. Guess we'll go look around a little bit more while we wait for the repop. Down here they also have the thunder demons you can try to fight. If you're a sword user, I'm not, but now we got two of them. Well, anyway, if you are a sword wielder, you can fight those thunder demons and perhaps obtain an obsidian thunder cutlass, which is a pretty good weapon, I believe, or used to be anyway. You'll see that my torch has 30 minutes remaining, or no, it doesn't. Anyway, here's the Dryad. We can either kill the Dryad to get her leaf, if you want to be a jerk about it, or you can let her drink from the leather water skin. So either way, I'm just going to give her the water skin. And she says, oh, thanks, blah, blah, blah. Anyway, she gives you the leaf in the end. So we're just going to recall out of here to go back to Brother Rufus's area, because we're done with the caverns. We've done basically everything we can there. So now we have 2 leaves. Now we're going to go get the 3rd leaf, and this 3rd leaf comes from a dragon. So to get there, you're going to go all the way east in town. Oops. Then all the way south. People just leaving stuff around, so I'm going to pick this up and move it. Somebody named Blanket Face, not cool. Okay, so go a couple south. This guy will say blah blah blah. Find the final leaf and I'll send you on the trial of youth. Blah blah. Anyway, we are going to follow these glowing footsteps. The Dryad, if you haven't already done the Mark of Youth, its Dryad will help you. So he opened a door for us to continue onward. If you've already done the mark, he won't let you in, I don't believe. So we're just going to follow the path and follow the glowing footsteps. And yeah, okay. Well, to the west is a dragon. What we need to do is go west, get gold, get leaf, flee east. Oops, I'm going to go, for some reason we can't stack commands by default, so I'm going to go into, where is it? Game configure, I don't know what, I'm guessing it's input. Well, somewhere in here, let's find out. Oh, here we go, input. Check this off. Command stacking using semicolon. Okay. And someone just ganked my stuff. I don't think that my druid will ever be able to kill this dragon, so I'm going to have to flee back east and wait for the leaf to come back. Okay. So I get everything. Yeah, whatever. So once you get the leaf, you can come west past the dragon to this windy ledge, and there's a parachute, and if you pull the parachute, you'll parachute down to the bottom of the mountain, and we'll be back at the beginning. So now we have all three leaves. We have the golden leaf, the red leaf, and the green leaf. Now we're back, where are we? Back at Rufus. Drink. Pretty much all the fountains in lasler heal you. So I'm going to come back to the calm-faced elven man, and instead of him telling us to go get the leaf, he now knows that we have all three leaves. And so let's do the trial. So we're going to say, I am ready. So what can you give away and yet still keep? Could it be wisdom? Apparently it was. So he just opened a southern exit for us. So you come on down. This guy casts haste on us, but doesn't really help us. So, and he puts you inside the great tree. Now, it says the northwest door is marked warrior. So if you were a fighter class, you'd go northwest. The north door is marked thief. So if you're a thief class, you go north. The northeast door is marked magician. So if you're a healer or an offensive magician, you're going to go northeast. And there's a slime here that you have to fight for the trial. So the magician one isn't really hard, but this slime can only be hurt by magic. So I'm going to have to evoke fire as much as I can and hope that it dies quickly. And sure enough, 3 evoked fires, and we killed it. Our leaves disappeared. We gained 1000 XP. We go north. And now we've completed the trial. We've gained the Mark of Youth. We got a Book of the Magician. We got a Tome of Experience. We also completed a part of a quest. So anyway, we go north. We're now back out in town. I'm going to wear the Book of Magician. Well, I'll wear the tome. Use tome. Boom, gained a level. I'm going to wear the book. Use the Book of the Magician. Our sanity increases by 1, so that's really helpful. So our sanity used to be 14, now it's permanently 15. Let's go spend our prats. What do I want to practice? My 18 prats. And I suppose I'll probably break this video up into two parts because I am running out of space in my hard drive. This video is getting too long, so I wanted to do it all in one swoop, and I probably could have if I hadn't talked so much, but I don't know what. My internet is apparently dying out or something. Okay, but before I log, we'll go complete this quest. So let's go back to Irvin. And what do we got? Trial of Youth, quest stat 3090. So we'll quest complete 3090. 1 quest point, 5000 gold. Actually, I guess we can probably do this real quick. So the next thing is we want to kill the crab, and we can do this easily, I believe. Let's have a drink. Let's go all the way east, south and east and then south. Now follow this the road again, and we're going to find those people who oops, okay, this lady, she gave me it. She was the one who we killed the 3 gypsies for. She gave me a gypsy's dagger. If I look at this dagger, it says, a gypsy's dagger has a chance in fighting Atrascus, the king crab, to do 33 pure damage to him with a frequency of 33% per round. So that's going to greatly help us fight this crab. So I'm going to wear that now. So I'm going to remove my flail and wear the gypsy's dagger. And she also gave us a tome of XP. Might as well wear the tome. Use the tome. Gain another level 6. Okay, so now we're going to continue down the road and find the next person who needs our help. It's probably going to be the guy who wants the picture frame, or nope, this guy wants the ragdoll. Give ragdoll Luto. He gives us a well-used inhaler, low inhaler. Well, it doesn't really tell us what it does, but we want to wear that, so let's remove our crystal. Oh, wear on your head, so never mind, let's wear our crystal again. And now we need to find the final person. And there she is. It says, you brought me back my daughter's portrait. So give portrait. And she gives us a tome of experience. Gain level 7. And she also gives us a crimson orb, so let's wear orb. The orb says, blah blah blah, when fighting the crab, you have a chance to restore 5 hit points, spell points, and stamina every other round, basically. Now let's go spend our prax real quick before we fight this guy. I don't know. Okay. So once you want to fight the crab, once you leave Lasler, it's to the east, just a little ways, and then in this water, you'll see this this blue O. Once you step onto it, you can go down, and the crab is here. So you can just fight the crab. My only tip would be, if you see him casting, get ready to flee up if you get low. But you should be fine as long as he doesn't cast on you. And oh, he cast Fairy Fire on me. You'll see he begins muttering an incantation, but that's not too bad. We'll go fight him again. Okay, so we killed him. We gained 85 quest points. We acquired a nefarious crab-shaped amulet. We gained the mark of celebrity for killing him. We also completed part of our quest. And since he was a boss monster, we gained 7 prax, because you get prax for killing bosses. We also gained a level. We also got a tome of experience. And we gained a new spell, Earth Invocation, which is a healing spell. Oop. Okay, so I'm gonna recall back to town. We are going to go practice Earth Invocation. We're also going to wear our tome. Probably gain that level. Sure enough. Okay, now we have a couple of short, quick things to do. The next thing we're going to do is something called the, whatever this is, trial of wisdom. So once you've done everything else, I believe it's, do you have to kill the crab? Anyway, once you've done the trial and killed the crab, if you go to this room, a beautiful grotto, which is right next to Rufus's room, and sit there for a couple ticks, you'll get transferred into this next stone room. Basically, I'm in the center. There's 2 rooms to my west and 2 rooms to my east. Each of them contain an obelisk, and when you walk into the room with the obelisk, it glows, it changes color. So this one just turned green, this one turned blue. And then when you return to the center, it tells you how many are correct. So basically what you want to do is go 2 west, 2 east, see if the number goes up. And it went up to 2, so we know the one on the far west is correct, but the one directly to my west is not correct. So we're going to go back west again. It turns red, we'll go back to the middle. If there's 3, we'll know we're good. Nope, keep going. 3, okay. Now we're going to do the same thing on this side. Three, so we know the outside one is correct, so we're just going to try to turn this one. Oh, damn. Okay, so all 4 were activated. When you stand here, a door opens in front of us. Go north, and what do you know, we gained a mark of wisdom. We gained 50 practices. We also gained 24,000 experience, which gained us another level. I'm now level 10, and we're back outside at the beautiful grotto. I'm going to go up here. I'm going to crack Earth Invocation 50. So that's maxed out now. What do I want next? Help, Radiance, Evoke, Reveal. I don't need that. Help, Radiance, Invoke. That's Detect Invisibility. That's pretty good. I'm gonna go with 5. Yeah, I'm gonna go with. Actually, go with Smoke Evocation. That's blindness. Or it blinds the mob that I'm fighting. Okay, and that's, what else? We've done all the quests that there are to do. So let's complete the crab quest. Let's also complete the Lasler Valley trial quest. So again, I got some 15,000 gold, 50 more quest points, 45,000 more experience points. Wow. Okay, and I also gained lore. That's the thing that lets me identify items just by looking at them now. Okay, and there's one last thing. What am I doing? Do I still have any room left? Hopefully I didn't. Just a tiny bit. I'm going to do it real quick. the last thing to do while we're in Lasler is you go 1 north of the graveyard and west. There's this crystal guild, which is something you can do. So if I say to Tara mine, I wish to assist the crystal guild. So he gives me a tightly rolled scroll. So basically I have to go find a crystal for him, and the scroll tells you where it is. So it's going to be in the direct center of this map. So if I find these 3 rows, so it's going to be on this row and basically centered somewhere in there. So I can tell that's out near Trascus the crab, so let's head out there. So head outside, head to the east, and I want to be on this row, which I am, so I'm just going to head east along that row until I hit the center mark, right there, and get the crystal. I'm going to recall back to town. I'm going to go all west, go back in here, give crystal Taramine. He gave me a reward. He gave me 1,000 gold and 9,900 experience, which again was enough to get me to the next level. I gained percentage in dodge, some more pracs, and I think that's it for now, guys. And that's basically most everything you can do. There's some other things you can kill, but that's in Lasler. But that's most everything. So this will be it for part 1 of the intro to Materia Magica. We'll come back and we'll continue on with the next stop, which is Rune Forest. But thanks for watching, guys. Like, subscribe, comment, and we'll see you guys in game.